Officials in Vegas talking now about the CyberTruck attack there at the Trump Hotel. Let's listen in.
As many of you went to sleep last night, and I just want to give you an update on a lot of what it is that we found through the processing of the CyberTruck. This is a joint investigation involving the FBI, the ATF, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, and these folks worked through the night and found a lot of stuff that is very useful for this investigation.
Right,
as you look at this CyberTruck here, we had to transport this down to our fleet services so that we could really get through this thing. And I remind you that the subject inside wasn't able to be removed for a very long period of time because he was burnt beyond recognition. And so as we continue to move through this, I'm going to talk a little bit about his identity and what we believe, but I would like to highlight a couple of things that the teams found inside of the CyberTruck that are useful to the investigation. And that, first and foremost, is a military identification. We also found a passport. We found a Desert Eagle 50 caliber semi-automatic pistol. And if you'll notice on a lot of these guns that we're going to talk about here, they're almost just burnt beyond recognition as well. There's a SLR model B30 semi-automatic firearm.
It burned extremely hot.
That the teams found inside of the CyberTruck.
So he shot himself in the head, right?
That are useful to the investigation. And that, first and foremost, is a military identification. We also found a passport. We found a Desert Eagle 50 caliber semi-automatic pistol. And if you'll notice on a lot of these guns that we're going to talk about here, they're almost just burnt beyond recognition as well. There's a SLR model B30 semi-automatic firearm.
It burned extremely hot then, guys.
Still in the vehicle that had to be removed. Notably, we found an iPhone and a smartwatch, and then several credit cards were also in the name of our subject. Our subject is 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger. He's of Colorado Springs, Colorado, born July 22nd of 1987. Now, as you'll see here on a picture of his driver's license, let's see, the question really still remains for me, and I know that there's a lot of you folks in the media that are identifying this person as the person in our vehicle. As I mentioned to you already, his body is burnt beyond recognition, and I do still not have confirmation 100% that that is the individual that was inside of our vehicle.
Yeah, it's going to have to be probably like dental records now.
And so as I'm calling it now, the subject or person of interest.
So he must have ran into he must have put part right there and then shot himself and then set the bomb. And he must have shot himself in the head and then set the bomb, and then he blew up with the car. If he was burned up with the car, I'm thinking that's what happened, right?
I will not come back until I have the confirmation through DNA or medical records that this is indeed, in fact, the subject inside of the vehicle.
Okay.
Now, further complicating this identification of this individual, we also discovered through the coroner's office that the individual had sustained a gunshot wound to the head prior to the detonation of the vehicle. One of the handguns was found at his feet inside of the vehicle.
So he did that to himself, obviously.
Obviously, in how we're trying to identify him, and I'm feeling comfortable to give you this information, is a tremendous amount of substantial evidence to include he rented the Turo vehicle. There are 2 tattoos, one of which was on the stomach and one of which is on the arm, that we can see bits and pieces of it as in comparison to what it is that we now know he had on his body. That has given us a lot of confidence that this is, in fact, the same person. As well as the clearly obvious, which is the credit cards, the military identification, the passport. And then furthermore, as you'll see here in just a very short period of time, we tracked his movements from Colorado to Las Vegas, and in a number of the photographs that we were able to determine, he was the individual that was driving the vehicle. And also, I'd like to iterate this point to you. We still have only ever seen him in this vehicle, and we're not aware of any other subjects involved in this particular case.
Okay.
Now, I would like to acknowledge a couple of things because I know what's going on in the social media world, and there are a number of things in this case that are similar to the attack in New Orleans. We do know that our subject here served in the military. In fact, he's a current member of the military.
Fort Bragg.
Both of the subjects served at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. What we do know about that is it's a very large military base, and we have no record that they served in the same unit or even at the same years.
Yeah, but the problem is that both of these individuals did serve at Fort Bragg. They both were in Afghanistan. Listen, we need to do definitely better with helping the soldiers when they do come back, specifically with mental health. We do a lot better than that.
Fort Bragg.
Better than what we're doing. Something
that continues to remain under investigation. I also know that they both served in Afghanistan in 2009. We don't have any evidence that they were in the same province in Afghanistan, the same location, or the same unit. Again, something else that remains under investigation.
Yeah, brother, they probably met on like a Reddit group or something.
And we also know, of course, that they both used the rental company Turo to rent their vehicles.
They both did.
As far as his military background, it's been confirmed by DOD that he was indeed in the United States Army. He was also a Green Beret operations sergeant who spent most of his time at Fort Carson, Colorado, and in Germany. He was on approved leave from Germany, where he was serving with the 10th Special Forces Group. He was also previously in the National Guard and the Army Reserve. I'd like to point out to you that through exceptional joint investigative effort, we've gotten to a place where we believe we can show you his route to Las Vegas from Colorado, and Carlos will put up the map there for you. And we know that he rented the CyberTruck in Denver on December 28th. We tracked his movements through the Tesla charging stations to Monument, Colorado on December 30th. On the 31st of December, the truck was charged in Trinidad, Colorado, Las Vegas, New Mexico.
And this is all the information that Elon Musk directly sent to them.
And Albuquerque and Gallup, New Mexico. On January 1st, the truck was charged in Holbrook, Flagstaff, and Kingman, Arizona. We last tracked the truck in Kingman
Mojave
at
County?
0533
Kingman?
Yesterday morning.
This is a setup by Elon Musk. I think, because he's a billionaire, he can pay somebody to kill themselves. When you have that kind of money, when you have multiple billions, you can pay somebody that, listen, I'll take care of your whole family for the rest of their lives. I just need you to do this, because this will really make our truck. Because people have been clowning his trucks lately. You probably, listen, you just kill yourself, I'll take care of your whole family and everybody for the rest of their lives. I mean, I'm worth $100 billion, so just do this one for me, because it's going to make my truck be like the hardest truck. Because that was like, the truck was so... it's made of that with stainless steel. It compacted an explosion. They say had he did that in some other truck, like the regular factory made trucks, he would have did way more damage because it would have blew outward. But the explosion blew upward, and it came back down and contained everything because of the stainless steel. So the fact that he didn't know that. So he pretty much just killed himself. He didn't hurt anybody else. He didn't cause no damage to the building. The building didn't even get damaged. So it's like he just killed himself for no reason.
The truck was first spotted in Las Vegas at 7:29 a.m. yesterday. And Carlos will pull up a picture of the truck pulling onto Fashion Show Drive here. And that picture was observed at about 7:34 a.m. We know that he pulled into the Trump Valet, and I believe we have a video of that. You can see the CyberTruck highlighted there.
Yep. Wow, dude.
So through extensive surveillance video, we were able to track him leaving there, and we know that he went to several different places along Las Vegas Boulevard and he spent some time in a parking lot of a business near Flamingo and Las Vegas Boulevard. We then have a video of the truck pulling back onto Las Vegas Boulevard from the Sands. See that there? That's north on the boulevard from Sands at 8:39, where he then immediately heads to the Trump Hotel, pulls into the valet area, and as of course you all know, the explosion occurs within 17 seconds of his arrival at the valet. There's some additional investigative updates that are going to be provided to you by a couple of the other speakers here. The first of which will be our special agent in charge of the FBI local office, Spencer Evans. Spencer?
All right, let's go, guys.
Good morning. My name is Spencer Evans. I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI's Las Vegas division. As the sheriff mentioned, we've been working through the night with our partners, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and other agencies, to gather all the facts and determine a motive to what was initially reported to the FBI as a bombing incident, to which our special agent bomb techs and others responded. Obviously, we're always concerned in these sorts of events to ascertain what the motive is. We understand that's everybody's at the forefront of everyone's thoughts. And so looking into exactly
that's the number one for everyone.
Remains our number one priority. This is why the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force has been brought into play. The Joint Terrorism Task Force, most important
part from Sands at 8:39, where he then immediately heads to the Trump Hotel, pulls into the valet area, and as of course you all know, the explosion occurs within 17 seconds of his arrival at the valet. There's some additional investigative updates that are going to be provided to you by a couple of the other speakers here. The first of which will be our special agent in charge of the FBI local office, Spencer Evans. Spencer?
All right, let's go, guys.
Good morning. My name is Spencer Evans. I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI's Las Vegas division. As the sheriff mentioned, we've been working through the night with our partners, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and other agencies, to gather all the facts and determine a motive to what was initially reported to the FBI as a bombing incident, to which our special agent bomb techs and others responded. Obviously, we're always concerned in these sorts of events to ascertain what the motive is. We understand that's everybody's at the forefront of everyone's thoughts. And so looking into exactly
that's the number one for everyone.
Remains our number one priority. This is why the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force has been brought into play. The Joint Terrorism Task Force, most important part of that acronym is joint. It is done in concert with our partners, which are comprised of more than a dozen investigative agencies here throughout the state of Nevada. We've been working hand in glove, side by side, tirelessly to determine, is there any ongoing threat to the public, to identify the subject, to determine any potential connection to other events going on in the world, most notably in New Orleans, and then obviously to determine if there's anything else.
He's referring to the Super Bowl
that we need to be tracking down. At this time is
that's right. Super Bowl right around the corner, man. And they did this on New Year's Day. That's just, I hate to say it, man, this is just the beginning, man. We about to see some crazy stuff. Everybody need to buckle up, baby. 2025 is finna be a motherfucker. It's already starting off with a bang. No point intended, but it's already starting off with a bang.
As the sheriff's pointed out, we feel that the subject has been identified, although not conclusively, waiting for DNA evidence on that front. However, we do feel like we have the subject identified, and at this time there is no information about additional subjects that the FBI is tracking on. Our resources, as I mentioned, that have been deployed in support of this event include Special Agent Bomb Techs, our evidence response team, which is processing crime scenes, side by side with the forensics folks from Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, our investigators, our intelligence analysts, and then outside of the FBI Las Vegas field office, we have investigative leads that are being conducted by FBI field offices, both internationally and domestically as well. As always, when the FBI is involved with any sort of case like this, we ask for help for the public. Anyone with information related to this incident, we encourage you to please call 1-800-CALL-FBI, or you can submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov. We've already received thousands of tips related to this incident. The challenge that we face moving forward is to separate those that are pertinent and relevant and those that can be verified from those that are not. For example, one of the tips that we received just today relates to information alluding to this subject's personal experiences related to his time and activity in the military. Again, that's unverified and uncorroborated, but one of many tips and leads that we will be following up in the days that come.
All right. Oh,
good,
no, don't play the next one. All right, hold on. To be honest, when I think about this here, I'm not even sure there was a motive. I guess who would know? But like looking at it and noticing that these two individuals, you may say that they should have never crossed paths in any meaningful manner. Bro, there are events that happen. Right? And what I mean by that is that there are things that happen where all the soldiers kind of get together and they do things, right? Type of occasionally, or they find groups on the internet where they can, candidly speak. Oh, I served.
I'm thinking something might go down. Shit on they talking about the inauguration coming up. Something may go down on their inauguration. Hit a thumbs up button.
Fort Bragg this time. Oh, I was also there at this time. Let's communicate and things like that, right? They can also just be massively disgruntled. But without any type of manifesto, then their point really was never made. Other than the last point of the Cybertruck in front of Trump's tower, which is a thing. But it could have just been done to throw everyone off completely. The reality. Will we ever know? I'm not sure. And I'm not even sure what type of tips are needed. We know exactly kind of who they are, right? Could there be potential for more people? I don't think so. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it was like two individuals that have done this in similar times, right? It kind of tells me that this is a small knit group, because generally the larger things get, the more things start to leak, let's say, and then the FBI obviously would have more people to be looking at. So nothing in me says that something else is happening unless there's a plan on like some gigantic event. Just why the guy from the FBI basically pointed out other events going on. He didn't want to mention it because he didn't want to cause any type of panic and things like that, right? But I think we all kind of know who and what he's talking about. I'd say probably.
Anyway, y'all, this is Mr. Boyd Reacts. He is really going in on this type of stuff. But anyway, you know what? I think it's just the times we living in, man. We living in people are not happy, dog. People are freaking miserable, man. People are really miserable. They're not happy. People aren't where they want to be in life. People are tired of struggling. People are tired. They're working 3 or 4 jobs. People are just not happy, dude. People are single. Ain't nobody happy with nobody. You got a bunch of imperfect people looking for the perfect man and woman. Yeah. I just hope things get better. Hopefully it will. I'm keeping the faith, but I don't know, man. This is gonna be an interesting year, 2025. I'm curious to see what's getting ready to transpire. Anyway, what do y'all think about this video, man? Leave your comments and subscribe to Charles and Ezra. Hit the thumbs up button.